don't know what to do, man. I bought this place and I'm like, I'm going to rent it, right? I'm just going to put the sign in the window. I'm going to rent it. And then I'm like, oh, but I got a buddy who's killing it, making money on Airbnb. It's kind of a decent location. Honestly, which one of these will make me more money? Today, you're going to find out. Truth is, there are some properties that if you did anything other than a rental, it would be stupid. Airbnb is not going to make sense. On the other hand, some of you own properties that if you're not Airbnb, it could be like the foolishest thing that you ever do.
You are a fool.
So let's just start up by understanding what is a rental and what is Airbnb. All right, if you missed the last decade, Airbnb is this amazing multi-billion-dollar company, and it's an online marketplace that connects people who want to rent out their homes with people who are looking for accommodations in that location. It's primarily used for vacation rentals and ultimately really short-term stays. For example, I live in a really nice neighborhood, and that community basically says you're not allowed to do Airbnb. We don't like transient short-term rentals in this particular area, which means there's some controversy, but in other areas it's like, oh my gosh, you're gonna make so much more money doing Airbnb short-term rentals on this than just like trying to rent it out. Residential rental property, however, refers to homes that are purchased by an investor and inhabited by a tenant on a lease or other type of rental agreement. This is usually long-term, with rental agreements typically lasting 6 months to a year, sometimes years. And this is definitely going to be suited for like areas where people are just, they're living. This is where their normal life goes down. This is where kids go to school over here and pops or mom goes to work over here. It's just like normal everyday living. You might be watching this video because you're thinking about getting into Airbnb, or maybe you're a landlord with a bunch of properties and you're wondering maybe some of those should also be Airbnb. Today's video, I'm going to help you understand that there are 3 different factors to consider so that you can ultimately know Airbnb or rent. The first thing to understand, pricing. Like when you do a rental property, the market pretty much tells you what you can rent that thing for. Airbnb doesn't follow any of those rules. Check it out. Traditional renters have to follow the lease agreement and may not change the pricing on the spot. This means that you will receive the same amount of rental income, ensuring a steady cash flow, which, by the way, as an investor is really smart. It's like it's a known factor. It doesn't matter whether we're in a high season or low season. If this is rented out every month in and out, I should be collecting the same amount of money. It doesn't really quite work that way with Airbnb.